In Mark chapter 4, verse 24, we see a verse that has been explained many times, and oftenly according to those who are whispering, who are telling stories and criticizing others, especially criticizing. And it says, with the same measure that you are measuring, you will be measured. But if you pay attention in this verse, 24, Jesus is talking to those who are listeners, those who listen to those who are criticizing. And he says, and the measure to you, listeners, will be added. So it will be a larger measure. So you will not probably cope with what is expected from you. So it will be much more difficult for you, listeners, to give explanations. And it's true, because it's worse in the way of, first of all, yeah, you are not responsible of whatever the person is telling to you, but you are. Because if that person has no one to tell about whatever he has to tell, he will not speak. But you are allowing that person to talk about something in a bad way. In a second place, you are encouraging that person to spread the word to someone else. And then you are feeding that feeling of, oh, I know something that he didn't know, I will tell others. And then you're encouraging that person to look for more news afterwards, once that he has tell everyone about whatever he found out. And in another level, it's, what are you nourishing your soul with? Because whatever you're listening to, that is going to be part of your spirit and your heart. So these are bricks that you're adding into the wall of your life. So you're cursing yourself in many different levels and being co-responsible with the other person, and responsible because you're encouraging the other person to keep going on that bad way. So that's why Jesus says, oh, I'm talking to you listeners, those who listen, who give ears, who pay attention to those who criticize. So what are you doing? Are you going to still allowing others to tell you this kind of criticism, stories on whatever it is, theories around, in order to encourage them? Because you're doing that even if you don't want to. Or rather, you will prefer to listen to positive stories, to tell them, listen, this is not going to be constructive, so I'd rather prefer not to listen to that. So maybe that person will realize that he's wrong or she's wrong, and then you may help that person to think about whatever he or she is doing. Listen about that. I encourage you to filter the conversations that people come forth and the people bring forward to you, and to just retain those who are healthy, positive, encouraging, and those who really are worthy. And then you will see an increase of your quality of spiritual life and happiness as well.